Remember this photo? This is British barber James Williams lying on the floor giving a little boy a haircut, and there's a good reason he's doing it this way. The young boy, Mason, is autistic, and he'd run away every time James tried to trim around his ears. So James got down on the floor on Mason's level and silently started cutting, and it worked. How about this one? This is Santa in Charlotte, North Carolina, who got down on the floor with Braden Dealey after the boy kept inching away from him. Once Santa got down on the floor and started playing, Braden was enamored. And yesterday, KTVU viewers were sharing this story on our Facebook page. Landon was flapping his arms when he told Santa he's autistic. Santa gently held his hands and rubbed them, calming the boy down while telling him not to let living with autism bother him. Landon's mom says the two had a focused, calm, 5-minute conversation that melted her heart. All of these stories involve everyday interactions with children who are on the autism spectrum and people who took the time to adjust their behavior to help the children feel comfortable. We're joined now by Brent Vaughn, CEO for Cognoa. Did I say that right?
You did.
And here's the tricky one, Clara Lagengere. Did I say that right?
You did.
I like saying your name. All right. Let's talk about autism in general. First of all, how many kids have autism and what is autism?
Yeah, so roughly 1 in 68 kids is on the autism spectrum. And autism is really a spectrum of conditions where that manifests itself early in children in their socialization and their speech, and you start to see it more and more as the children age, and you start to see it in how they interact with others around them or don't interact as much with others around them.
So they can either be very calm or very, I don't know, a lot of energy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Is that it?
Yeah, so autism is a spectrum disorder, and it is one of many developmental disorders. And so with these kids, they are just like other kids. They're kids, but they have certain sensitivities, whether it's sensory, they have sensitivity to noise, they have sensitivity to touch, to other kinds of sound or stimuli in their environment. So it's really important to consider those things when interacting with children with autism.
Okay, so let's talk about interacting with children and some tips on how to do that. So first of all, be aware of sensory sensitivities. What does that mean?
So it means that so some children, they're really sensitive to loud noises. When you go to a mall or you go to see Santa, you have to be, you as a parent or a caretaker have to be prepared to manage that for a child that has those sensitivities.
So try to keep them calm there. And then some of the other tips, we can put that back. Don't run up to them, hug them, or touch them. Offer a quiet space, engage in special interests. So each child is unique with their needs, is that right?
That's exactly right. And so for a lot of these children have really specialized interests. Some of them are really into maps, some of them are into cars, and the key is to really engage them in the activities and let them talk about them. Other things that are really important is to make sure that these children have a safe space, a quiet space where they can go and they can relax and they can do whatever thing they need to do to calm themselves and calm their nervous systems.
And what should I do as a bystander if I'm at the shopping mall in line at the store and there's a child who seems to be disruptive? You know, I might think there's a bad parent who's not taking care of their child. Are there any tips for the rest of us when we encounter these situations?
And that's a tough call, and unfortunately many parents, that's exactly what they get. People feel that, wow, that's a bad parenting, and what bad parenting skills. I think the key here is to give that family some space, and don't get too close, and allow that parent to make the call. That the parent is likely trying to figure out how to get out as quickly as possible and to just get the child into a better place.
And finally, if somebody suspects that perhaps their child may be autistic or wants to find out, what do you advise them to do?
Well, our company has a mobile app that every parent can download, and they can very quickly provide simple information and assess their child's risk for developmental delays, including autism. But always, if a parent suspects severe developmental delays like autism, the first thing they should do is engage with their pediatrician and have a frank conversation with their pediatrician. Pediatricians are very good about having the discussions with parents and helping identify the signs and symptoms and the ones that are different from just the normal variation of being a kid and growing up.
Okay, and real quick, the name of your app?
Cognoa, same as the company.
Cognoa. There you go. All right.